Hi, I've had a number of questions about creating conditional access policies using the CyberHound editor. So here's a quick overview of how that works. Firstly, let's go into the Policies tab and filter our policies based on our persona name. In this case, I'm going to use UK Store Manager. And if you're wondering why I've got a number of policies for one persona, I've put a link below to that design. So notice here we have 4 tab headings: who the users are, to whom the policy applies, what are the applications or resources that those users are trying to access, the conditions that must be met for the policy to take effect, and the actions that must occur when the policy conditions are met. So that's a nice and easy flow of logic showing all policies side by side and left to right. So now I'm going to create a new policy here. Firstly, I enable the policy editor, and now I click on create a new policy. You'll notice the same 4 tabs: users, accessing, conditions and actions, but this time presented in a column form showing all the conditional access configuration in one page. So let's create a policy. We'll give it a new name. Based on our persona, I'm going to call it UK Store Manager Laptop Access. We'll target users. I click on the plus or minus in the corner of each block here. Firstly, excluding a break glass account and including just one group, the UK Store Managers. I'm going to consider accessing 2 resources, the UK Store Manager app and Office 365. And for conditions, I'm going to set the platform to Windows only and UK location only. And finally, I'll grant access with authentication strength, passwordless, and required device to be compliant. So we select in this example all of those controls. We can now create the policy with the create button here. And we see the policy has been created, and now we're waiting for Microsoft to resync. We're actually waiting for the new GUID. That's the unique ID for the policy that can only come from Microsoft. But once we've received it, you'll be glad to know our policies refresh automatically. And again, reading left to right, here it is for UK Store Managers, excluding that break glass account, for the applications Store Manager and Office 365, Windows Platform only, UK locations only, grant with compliant device and using passwordless MFA. You'll see it's in reporting mode, so let's put this policy into enable. We click on the policy, change the state to enable, no other changes here, then update. And straight away, we're now back into the policies page. Here it is. We can see this policy has now been created in Microsoft, so let's have a quick look at that. We can see the same configurations here. So users, resources, networks, which is now part of conditions, locations, devices. And going back to CyberHound, one final thing I think is a good feature: we can detach that policy editor page and put that on a separate screen if we wanted to, so we can see both policy details and all the policy configurations side by side on 2 separate screens, and I think it's a really great thing to be able to do. I'll just put that policy back in the tab by clicking on the top right X. So there you have it. Hopefully you found that useful. Do give me a shout if you have any questions.